Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to another recording of Hearthstone. Today is Wednesday, September 5th. Today, this recording might be a little shorter than an hour if we run out of news, but maybe it will still go an hour because we have a lot of things to do. We need to get, I'm going to go for Hunter victories now because I was doing Druid before. We need to play 20 minions that cost 2 or less. And we need to play 6 more even cost cards, which I really hate that is part of the daily quests lineup now. And I need to do this tavern crawl. So yeah. But as for news, I don't have a ton of it. A few more games. Maybe it'll take an hour if I slow down and just take it gradually, but maybe not. Maybe I'll just end up scrolling down my Twitter account and seeing if anything new has happened. Like, I really don't need to squeeze a stone. Squeeze blood from a stone is an old saying. As far as my Twitter feed and video game news on a Wednesday. I'm perfectly fine to just save that up for Friday. But moving forward, we have a game called BattleCon Online. It says it's a free-to-play game. What is this? It looks like it is a PC version of a cell phone or tablet game. Looks like it's a card battler style game. I have a random beast in my hand. Nope. Well, the art style here, well, particularly the color palette of this game, BattleCon Online, is slightly interesting, using deep purples. The rest of it just looks like garbage, the actual line drawing and such. So, for that reason, I have no interest in this game. You'd also need you own a separate account and a separate EULA for this early access free-to-play game. 37 Steam achievements. I don't know how you get Steam achievements on free-to-play. You used to have to make a microtransaction to get Steam achievements. Is that still how it works? Or has something changed? There we go.
To serve the Lich King.
Oh, I could have potentially played that. Random Beast. No, that wouldn't have worked. So. Next game we have on Steam is called Time Barbarian Extreme. It's got a little bit of polish, a small bit of polish, but it still looks like a kind of low effort game. Like, I'm making whole categories here of low effort games and extremely low effort games. This is a bullet hell on a stage flying around and shooting game. It seems like you can only go so far left or right, and it's a lot more zoomed in than a standard bullet hell shooter game. So there's just a massive amount of things on the screen that you could run into.
By his will.
Let's see.
Job done.
Yeah, it's not impressive. This game has 68 achievements. It's $4.99, no discount. And it's the first game from this developer, so that is certainly the trifecta of games I do not trust. Give that one +2/+2, and play this.
You have been measured and found wanting.
Let's go ahead and continue to not play any cards yet.
Beetleberry, my favorite.
Next game we have on Steam is called Monster Pub, which would be about the third game set in a pub.
The
in this year. Set the bar. This one says it's a indie casual card game with pixel graphics according to the tags. Those are usually submitted tags. But the animation I'm looking at seems odd. Odd things they are animating, or odd way in which they are animating things. Seems like there might be just some card games that you can play. Each minion that died this turn. See if I could gain more armor. That'd be nice.
Sweet essence.
So if I do
will.
this, and
Unworthy.
this, and that, and that, and then the turn. Yeah, I don't see anything about Monster Pub that interests me. It's $9.99. It's the first game from this developer. So, moving on. Destructoid, I don't know how I got onto a Destructoid article. As an article, Crystal Crisis is a worthy replacement for Puzzle Fighter. Apparently this was being shown off by at PAX. Yep. And so when it comes out, when Crystal Crisis comes out, I could talk about it some more, but I guess I'm just going to point out this article and move on. The other thing is, why do I hate Destructoid? Like, you really don't need a reason to hate any of the mainstream video game media, because they've all done something horrible. It is literally just guilt by association, because that they've literally associated with each other and backed each other when they shouldn't have, instead of being strong, independent media journalists that only on a very simple and surface level cooperate with each other.
We are one.
See.
Try one.
Unworthy. By his will.
So let's see. I'm trying to scroll down.
Welcome to the grand
Destructoid's playing a video, and this is one of those infinite scroll things. Like, there's no about Destructoid. At all. Like, there's literally nothing here that talks about a copyright. There's nothing here that talks about who owns this company. That's just bad web design, if anything. If nothing else, it's just bad web design to be unable to look at their website and say, who is your partner network? Who are you working with? What other companies do you write the exact same articles for?
Try one.
Right away.
Let's see.
By his will.
We've got a game on Steam called Silence in Space Season 1. I don't like the games are named Season 1. This looks like it is an 8-bit pixel graphics point and click game. It definitely has that old style look to it, but it might be a good game. And more than any other genre, I would be willing to overlook bad graphics in a point and click adventure. Let's see. Anything I can hope to do is something that doesn't work. I don't have any beast cards, so that was a waste of time. I'm just literally playing the cards for no reason. That's a beast character. So now I could have played this had I had enough mana.
Tide rises.
Let's see.
Try one.
This.
Right away.
This.
By
This.
Tide rises.
That. In the turn. Oh, this guy was gonna summon Murlocs?
Icy winds of Northland will consume your soul.
Crazy that this game, Silence in Space Season 1, requires its own third-party EULA. Steam really needs to crack down on that. It has 15 achievements, it's 20% off for $1.59. I'll keep an eye on it, but I also feel like it's probably nothing. It's the first game from this developer. So, like, this will be a 2018 game, probably by the end of 2019. It'll have no reviews, and I'll drop it from my wish list, which is my plan to do at the end of the year. This year is to simply drop old games that don't have anybody playing them ever or reviewing them ever.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I just lost. Let's see. PC Gamer has an article. Dragon Quest XI marks a major milestone for Japanese PC gaming. After 3 decades, a series inspired by Western computer RPGs finally arrives on PC. So, like 10 Dragon Quest games previously would have to work their way into Steam. Maybe the previous Dragon Quest games have been made available on Steam. Like the trailer
Rexar versus Rexar.
for Dragon Origins, or no, Dragon Quest 11 looks very nice. Looks very, very nice. Suppose somebody, I should mention somebody somewhere unimportant, doesn't like the long-going joke that's in Dragon Quest series, in which they reference a thing that was written in the Dragon Ball manga called Puff Puff, which was supposed to be some kind of sexual activity one would do, or a female would do on a man, or something like that. You don't ever really know what it is in the Dragon Quest series, and in every game you're offered Puff Puff and you accept it, and then it always turns out to be some kind of gag of some sort. So you don't know. Like, I think in one of the Dragon Quest games you say, yes, I'd love some Puff Puff, and it's a slime bouncing on your head, massaging your head. Just, it's always the gag of implying you're going to get something and then not getting it. Subverting expectations.
Silence.
Job's done.
And in the most recent one, the room is dark, and then the scene happens, and then the room is lit up, and it turns out that not the girl who offered you Puff Puff gave it to you, but her elderly father. Again, subverting expectations. And so some SJW somewhere is upset about this gag and going, well, that's concerning because you're not giving consent at all. And you know what? There was a story in Europe, a real story, where a lesbian pretended to be a man and on several occasions had sex with a woman in the dark and got away with it, and in the court case that came out about that is like, yeah, that was not what you were signing up for agreeing to. And so yeah, there are some real world instances where that is true, but in this game it's clearly a joke, and the one thing SJWs can't take is a joke. And I would hate to see any Japanese creator change a long-running gag just because people can't handle a joke. And real people, real fans of video games, real fans of Dragon Quest XI would not want to see that changed. Just because some journalist who's probably never played Dragon Quest before in their life and probably didn't even play the game all the way to the end found something to be upset about, because they always need to find something to be upset about. It's not even really worth talking about that much. I think I want to play Dragon Quest, however. That is the more hyping thing to me, is like, hey, that's a game I could sink my teeth in. And maybe Dragon Quest XI would be a pretty good place to start.
Silence!
Next game we have on Steam is called The Ultimate Clicker Master of the Universe. It's clearly a troll game. 13 achievements, 99 cents, terrible graphics. It seems like you're clicking on a rock just over and over again. I don't think the rock...
Here, Stormy.
Yeah, it seems like it's just a button that you click over and over again. I'm still trying to finish Time Clickers, by the way, speaking of clickers games, and really haven't made any real progress there. A couple years later, not super surprising either. Like, you really do just hit a point where it's impossible to max out Time Clickers. Unless I'm just playing horribly wrong. I've tried every single combination of upgrades and none of it seems to work. It was an interesting game, and it's from publisher Team 17 Digital. It's from a developer called Planet Alpha. It's called Planet Alpha. They shouldn't call the developer this. It seems like I don't know if I'm looking at a cutscene that's just really nicely animated, or if the entire game is like this, like what I'm seeing. It seems to me like a 2D adventure on an alien planet. Feels like it's got some jumping and platforming, and there's like robots that shoot lasers at you to make these big stage events. And yeah. See if it says it's an action adventure platformer. Pursued by relentless enemies, you must harness the power of night and day as you struggle to survive. It's really, really nicely animated, this game, Planet Alpha. Planet Alpha. $19.99 or digital deluxe version for $24.99. There's an and there's like some kind of special offer from Team 17 where you can buy Worms or Armageddon, or you get Worms Armageddon for free. So yeah, get an old Team 17 game. This game has 72 Metacritic score. Now, PAX recently happened, and one thing I kind of want to mention here is how PAX ended up, at least for Giant Bomb, just kind of being a waste of their time. I would have preferred for them to simply have not gone, and it sounds like they would have preferred to have not gone anyways. That there's just like nothing too much to see there other than this game called The Quiet Man, which is awful, which it looked awful when it was announced at E3, and that's kind of all they talked about. I looked at their PAX panel, which they were kind of known for doing, and it's not super interesting either. They don't really talk about anything. They're just eating food and talking. I mean, they're literally eating weird food, but also kind of having a break and a snack in the presentation. But yeah, nothing interesting there. Let's see. So I need to play a bunch of minions who cost 2 or less. So a Murloc deck. I need to win 2 more Druid or Hunter decks. Things, but at least I got the Tavern Brawl done, so that helps me. Let's see. Ooh, an epic. There you go, and I'm keeping the Golden's cards on the Asian account in case they ever get nerfed. I've got a lot of cards. They're labeled as new. So let's see if we can mark some of these off. Even though the game is so buggy, it just will reset them all as new next time I log in. Like, these are just not new cards. They just aren't. It's like I can't even get it moved down. Finally. There we go. So hopefully that saves and locks. Now we just need to, let's see if we can find the Murloc deck. Do I have a wild Murloc deck? Let's see what it takes to play a casual pirate deck. That might be cheap cards too. Next game we have on Steam, surprise surprise, Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of the Elusive Age, digital edition of Light. I've been talking about this game a lot, so don't really need to say anything. Very positive, 91% of 280 user reviews came out September 4th, but from Square Enix.
Watch your...
Here's a thought, though. If I was to stream this, I wonder if they would block it. Being a Japanese company, that certainly is another thought. It also has de novo in it. That sucks. It's $59.99. Let's see, this is a 2. I can play that twice. Let's see. The Edition of Light bonus DLC receives some extra items in game, it seems. I really doubt that Square Enix as a different Dragon Quest version though. Let's see. Yeah. And The Quiet Man, by the way, is also made by Square Enix, so yeah, take that for what that is. This.
Yeah, beat it.
This.
Too soon.
And this.
Our town scrub.
Yeah, beat it.
Square Enix also is the publisher for like Forgotten Anne, which I've forgotten about, sadly. The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition. Yeah, there's no other Dragon Quest game on Steam as far as I can tell. And I think the digital edition of Light is kind of nice because there's no DLC or deluxe edition also, so they're kind of holding back on that. There is de novo, and there is that slight question about just how much of this could I stream before, if any. Let's see. This.
You're looking at me.
Too soon.
Looking at Dragon Quest, the videos, the graphics just look really good, considering you almost assume that this was a mobile first port. So they were thinking ahead, I think, unless they're just not showing any actual gameplay footage in any of these mini screenshots. They must have been thinking ahead that they needed to do these graphics in such a way that would work and look good on a Switch or PC or a console.
Here we go.
Right, there's finally a screenshot with a HUD. Yeah, in-game screenshots too have a very cel-shaded, cartoony anime. I don't know if you really even want to call it an anime-esque art style or way of being animated. It's more cartoony, more cel-shaded than that.
I wonder how long can this go?
It looks really good. I'll just leave it at that. Let's move on. Next game we have on Steam is called OmniLink. It says OmniLink is a hybrid visual novel featuring exploration, real-time space combat, and choices that affect gameplay and story. Find love across the stars and become a hero in an epic adventure. It's tagged as visual novel, adventure, indie, action, anime.
So many options.
Older anime characters, I would say, if you're gonna like not what you would say a typical anime characters would look like at all. Let's eat this guy and then do this.
Too soon.
Just gonna
Here
just
we
try to
go.
play everybody. So the visual stuff looked alright until I got to the third screenshot and I see a completely black and white panel that's only taking up at most a fourth of the screen. But the gameplay looks like it's a pretty basic space shooter game. So it seems like they almost merged a failed space shooter game into a failed visual novel. It's 15% off for $12.74. Apparently it was in early access before this. Has 15 Steam achievements. Questions I want to know about the languages it supports. And I want to keep on playing.
So many options.
To a friendly character. Discover a demon.
Blood
That.
and
Here we go.
You're looking at me.
Keep on playing. Where are you languages? Yeah, it's only in English. It's not in Japanese. It's not in any other languages. So I was a little hesitant to say this looks like a very good Western animation style, but now that I know it's only in English, it probably is better described that way. Like a very, very good Western animation style with Western characters, older looking characters. This is from a developer who's made a game called Indie Graphics Bundle, royalty-free sprites that is 40% positive of 15 users, and then a Space Galaxy graphics pack and a character creator graphics pack, and then this game. So I don't know if this is stolen assets or if this is just some weirdness in general, or is this a game that's been in development for way too long. Let's see, let's discover a demon. Let's see. Attack and health of all other minions. Nope, I'll take that.
Here we go.
I'll attack here. I'd almost want to give OmniLink a pass and try it for its fancy looking graphics, and it looks like it kind of has a visual novel grid in the way it animates things too. So you see characters and they have a red string connecting to another character's face, and so your interactions and connections to people seem to potentially change or at least be depicted in an interesting way. But boy, does this game not look interesting when it comes to gameplay. It's 100% positive of 26 user reviews. I guess, maybe? Like, I'm getting hung up too much on the fact that it's calling itself an anime when it really isn't. That positive ratings leads me to be generous. So I'm going to put it in the watch list, and I'll keep an eye on it and see if it can sell itself a little bit better later on. Next we have TechRaptor has another cool Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition shows up on the UK PlayStation Store. So a mobile phone port showing up on the PlayStation game. Like this was, they found an icon in the store, and now when they search for it, it's missing. So it seems like that is something that they are thinking about. At least Square Enix is thinking about, is having a. I think that kind of worked. As far as getting the daily quest done. Thinking about porting a portable game to a console. We've got a game on Steam called A Maze ABC. This is slightly important to point out because this is from a developer who has basically made nothing but games called A Maze on Steam. Nah, that's not exactly true. There's Chocolate Makes You Happy also, and
Watch your back.
data mining. So this developer publishes something about twice a month, filling up Steam with very simple copies of games that they have long since already developed, and they're just looking to repackage, resell, and change things slightly. This time it includes 100 Steam achievements, so it is a Steam achievement game for 25% off for 74 cents. So yeah, totally a Steam achievement game. And one of the ways you can tell it's a Steam achievement game is that of all of the Steam achievements, a lot of them are letters and symbols and numbers so that you can spell out things on your achievement. What is it? Achievement shelf on your Steam profile. Moving on, Rock Paper Shotgun has an article. Biff Baff Boff Claws of Fury starts brawling today. Let's see. Claws of Fury, I believe, is out now. And when I just tried to click on the link to open it on Steam, it didn't work. So let's see. Is Claws of Fury? Oh, no, I see what's happening. It's already been opened. Yeah. I've got to change how that plugin works. Claws of Fury, we'll talk about in a second, I guess. We already talked about that story. We have a game on Steam called Lots of Monsters. That's LOT_Z, capital A, and then monsters with no
I hope you like my invention.
spaces whatsoever. Just keep on playing.
I hope you like my invention.
And it's an arcade wave game. It says top-down shooter. Looks like garbage. I think... Nope, haven't heard of this developer before. He only has 2 games. But it does not look good, and they want $5.99 for Lots of Monsters. Which is not worth 60 cents.
I hope you like my
Play
invention.
this.
Oh, if you're sure.
Job's done.
And
Not.
next game we have on Steam is called Ninjin, Ninjin: Clash of Carrots. It says it's an action indie adventure co-op beat 'em up. It's like these ninja rabbits, and they're running. They're running as the enemy is talking, and I assume explaining.
This is our town.
Yeah.
This looks like it's a always running to the right, bullet hell beat 'em up kind of game. Looks like it would be
Oh, if you're
rather
sure.
frustrating to try to just
If you're sure.
see what's going on the screen. It's got some polish on it though, so maybe I should give it a chance. It's 25% off for $11.24. Yeah. I've resolved not to read reviews on games as they're brand new and just wait until to see if they get enough reviewers to get a rating, and then maybe I'll read reviews. But it's kind of a waste of time to look as your first action and say I should see the reviews
If
here
you're
and
sure.
decide whether or not there's
If you're sure.
a value in the game. Play that. Keep on
You're
attacking.
looking at me.
Let's see. And this is the first game from this developer, Ninjin Clash of Carrots, from a developer calling themselves Pocket Trap, which is a slightly interesting name, but probably not the best one you want to pick.
Trust the pirate.
Let's see if I was to play this.
First the pirate's code.
Hey, give me a minute.
You looking at me?
And it has a publisher from Modus Games, which they've only published one other game. I guess I'm feeling generous here at the end of the stream, so I'm gonna wishlist that. I'm definitely not gonna wishlist Rapid Racing, however, which is a very low effort looking top-down racing game. Let's see, 15% off for $3.39. Even when it's a low effort game, they want way too much money. Let's see. And I'll play.
I sail the slimy deeps.
You looking at me?
Hey, give me a minute.
Scurvy dog.
Here we go.
Yep. Rapid Racing. I keep pausing. Apologies for this. I'm really getting distracted. Yeah, Rapid Racing. Only game from that developer. Garbage. Next game we have on Steam is called Tiny and Tall Gleipnir. Gleipnir.
Let me
Part 1 is a classic yet modern point-and-click adventure inspired by LucasArts' legendary titles. It's 100% positive of 18 user reviews. It looks pretty well animated with, I almost want to call it a German artistic style, because German point-and-click adventure games kind of do seem to have an artistic style to them. Yeah, everything here looks good, except for the part that it's part 1. That's a problem.
quickly.
It has 9 Steam achievements. It's 15% off for $12.74. This is a game I'm gonna wishlist, but I am also going to. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it and see if there's a finalized version before I'm willing to really put any money into it. Like, I wonder how many developers are out there have lost a significant amount of sales because they simply did the wrong thing. Just they brought let's see, that they brought cheap. Okay, can I win right now? Or do I need something to die? I think I need something to die, so let's play this and this. This. And that and that. Okay, that puts me in a good point. Now I just need hunter victories, standard hunter victories, or if I get desperate, druid victories. So back to standard. Let's get some ranked wins and work up. We've got a game on Steam called Moonfall Ultimate. It says it's a 2D side-scrolling action RPG in a industrial gothic universe. Looks like it's got some small bit of polish on it. I'm not 100% sure that the art style and idea totally makes sense. And it looks like maybe you get way too many items and potions for a side-scrolling beat-em-up. Let me see if I can watch the trailer of it and see if this sells me a little bit more, because it kind of feels like you're playing Dark Souls in a side-scrolling beat-em-up and sort of side-scrolling version of Diablo.
Job's done.
I don't know. Like, maybe that would speed up Diablo. Like, if Diablo 3 was just a side-scrolling game instead of wandering around the mazes in the dungeons that were randomly generated. Does that, like, Diablo in particular, I think, is a great example of doing random generation right, in the sense that those, it's not just a case of there's a random surprise, it's a case of pacing the game so that random enemies appear or random rewards appear around the corner, and thus you know that will happen, therefore you are interested in continuing to play. Diablo was a pretty good game to convince people to Diablo 1 and 2 is basically what I'm talking about. It's a pretty good game series to keep you wanting to play the game and to keep you spending a lot of time in the game, where I'd say Diablo 3 does not succeed at that quite as much. Moonfall Ultimate is 20% off for $10.39. From this same developer, we have a game called Don't Knock Twice, and the full motion video called Late Shift, and the Bunker full motion video, and Soul Axiom. Yes, all of these games are recognizable. So Moonfall Ultimate has to go on the wish list just because I know this developer and they've done some previous things that were at least slightly relevant. Here's Claws of Fury on Steam. Right now, overall, it has like a 50% positive rating. It's an action indie adventure co-op beat 'em up game. So it's like 4 players, I think, just kind of on stages, or sometimes you do boss fights. Like I'm seeing a boss fight where they're in a cage fighting a giant boss. Let's see what I want to do here and here and here and hit that. Discover secret. And in return, there we go. Claws of Fury is 10% off for $8.99, so they're not even asking as much as some of the extremely low effort games. And none of the reviews I've seen are in English. There's one in Japanese that says it's positive, and there's one in Russian, basically. I assume it's Russian, and I assume it's Japanese. So I'm gonna wishlist Claws of Fury and see what more people in English say. This is kind of a game that I need to see other people play to make sure it's something closer to Castle Crashers than it is something closer to Smash Brothers.
The eternal hunt has begun.
Moving on, this game came out September 4th, so this is still happening. While high quality games with the nudity tag, sexual content tag, I assume what might be the case here is that some games are self-reporting the content that's in their games, and they are getting delayed by months or more from being released on Steam. And then there are extremely low effort developers who are just stealing anime pictures of lewd anime pictures of anime girls and just putting them in their games, even though they almost certainly have no rights to them. And they're just not self-reporting. That would be my guess is what's going on, and that's why these low quality games still are managing to be released on Steam, whereas other games are getting delayed. This one I'm looking at is called Hentai Square, which is some kind of puzzle game where you slide tiles onto stars, and in the background there is a lewd picture of an anime girl that the board that you're playing on, the playfield, sits on top of. Yeah, come to think of it, I'm pretty sure I recognize some of these anime characters, so this clearly has to be stolen art. I severely doubt that it is licensed. Also, this game has 100 achievements. It's 30% off for 69 cents. And it's from a developer who's developed nothing else. Or, in this case, I heavily suspect a developer who has developed other things and released them under different names. We've got a game on Steam called Navy Blue and the Spectrum Killers. It says jump, shoot, dash through the city, choosing which crisis to solve first as you gain new powers and fight your way through the legions of evil robots and thugs as you try to save the world. I wonder if this is inspired by / clone of Mega Man. I guess it is. Like, this is totally just a Mega Man clone, but it's polished in such a way that it actually looks good. It actually looks playable. Well, I've got to wishlist this game then. Navy Blue and the Spectrum Killers is 10% off for $8.99. It's clearly a Mega Man clone. It's from a developer who hasn't made anything else. So it still could be really, really bad, but it might be good. At least enough to give it a chance. Want to play this? Or this?
I dream and the world trembles.
Let's go ahead and hit these guys. Next we have a game on Steam called In My Mind. They say it's a shooting game with metaphors about mind and feelings. Face 18 different negative emotions. Your goal is to overcome them without being defeated. I played a game similar to that. There was a tower defense game about a year ago. Kind of sucked. And In My Mind, in the same way, seems to kind of suck. There was another game that was supposed to be a platformer, puzzle platformer, that I don't think ever got finished. That was around emotions also. This is just a top-down bullet hell shooter game, and the graphics look horrible. It's got one achievement, and it's 10% off for 89 cents. And we're in a very weird position where having 100 achievements and having one achievement is the exact same thing. It's a game built around the idea of achievements. Whether it's getting as many achievements as possible or getting as many 100% completed achievements as possible. And let's see. We already talked about that. So that takes me to the Humble Bundle store. And that means I can look at this new Unity bundle. And did I not start the timer again? No, the timer is about to go off, so it has been about an hour. So what I think I'll do is this will be our last game and we'll just work from there.
Quickly.
We'll work on Friday on finishing any daily quests. I don't think I need to really do anything off screen because I've gotten enough of the other daily quests. Okay. So, Humble Bundle has a new bundle. For $1, I believe I'm going to spend. You can get Oxenfree and AER Memories of Old. You also get Inventory Pro, which I don't know what game this is. Let's see. I wouldn't be surprised if half of these. Let's just go ahead and squelch this one.
Time runs out on me.
Note this is not a game. This is a collection of popular digital assets from the Unity Assets Store to be used in the Unity Assets. So you'd buy a bunch of Unity assets that you may not have, like they may not have the rights to resell them. And then Ultimate First Person Shooter is again a Unity game thing. So I'm gonna spend $1 to end up getting a bunch of things that are built around programming in Unity and making a terrible Unity game. I feel like the Humble Bundle store has a moral duty to not sell these things to people and the Unity store in general.
Let the pain speak to me.
Wasteland 2 Director's Cut is a game. I would spend above the average of $11.95. Final Station is also in that tier. Last Day of June is a game, and then you have more things like Realistic Effects Pack, Ultimate Game Music Collection, which an Ultimate Game Music Collection probably would be games music that I might be able to use on my YouTube channel just in general,
To my side.
depending on the license. One would kind of hope and assume that would be the case. Let's see.
I move quickly. Job done.
And then, where are we? $15 or more gets you Tormento, no, not Tormentum, Torment, Tides of Numeria, which has mixed reviews, and Shadow Tactics Blades of Shogun, which is overwhelmingly positive according to the Unity, and then a game called Gaia, G-A-I-A, which is not a game. And Heroic Fantasy Creatures Pack, which is not a game. So you're paying a lot here in this bundle if you're just looking for games. It's not a very good bundle for that. But I think I will spend $1 and get Air and Oxenfree because the odds of me already having one of those games are low. I'll double check, like, because I don't want to screw up and waste money. But getting those two games for $1 is probably a decent thought. Let's see. And so now let me go, as we're wrapping up here with this game, and let's see. Videos are still airing on my Twitch stream. I actually took Twitch Prime up on its offer to watch this TV show on Twitch Prime. I forget what it was called. It was like Jack Ryan, not to be confused with Jack Reacher, which is also on Twitch Prime. And I started watching the wrong one. This Jack Ryan is a Prime original TV series starring Ashton Kutcher. Jack Reacher is the Mission Impossible actor from the movie series. He's a super famous and well-known action hero, so I should know his name, but I can't think of it at the moment. So I took him up on that offer. I don't know if they have added any bits to me or not. I'm not sure where that would even be. Bits. You have 0 bits. So they did not reward the bits. They were giving me 400 bits, which would have been about $5. Well, 500 bits is $7. I have no idea what you do with the bits or how I would use them. Like, I don't think I can add them to my account. And then pay myself out. I don't think I can get paid out on Twitch in any way whatsoever. Alright, so that then takes us back to my Twitter account. And as this game is wrapping up, let's see. I'll scroll down here and just see if there's any new announcement or any new thing. Let's see. This, and then this, that. HTC Vive's wireless adapter is now available for pre-order for $300. If you want to turn your existing Vive into a wireless one, that's a lot of money. Everybody that played Donut County seemed to like it, but it seems to be a pretty short game. So it's probably one of those games that falls under the category of a game that I should get on sale. Borderlands episode 13, Borderlands 2 episode 13 aired 2 hours ago on my channel. I kind of was hoping more people would have watched that series. And I guess maybe eventually more people will. Would be nice. PC Gamer has an article. Jacksonville tribute live stream takes place tomorrow. The stream will pay tribute to the victims of the shooting at the Madden NFL tournament in August. Let's see. Gamma Sutra Games intelligence firm Superdata acquired by analytics company Nielsen. Ooh, so the Nielsen ratings board bought a video game ratings or video game analytics firm. So we may very well start to see a list of.
I hunt alone.
Let's just hope this works. We may start to see Nielsen ratings for video games. You can get the Kingston 240GB SSD for $40, according to PC Gamer, which that doesn't sound that bad. Sounds like a good deal. I'm seeing some older SSDs, particularly M2 style SSDs, that are going on sale. Remember Me episode 2 aired 3 hours ago on my channel. Yeah, the world did not end again, so there really doesn't seem like there's too much happening. Can I do this and this?
The eternal hunt has begun.
What do I want? Can't be targeted by hero powers and spells. Let's just take this one then. And might as well just take that one. 4. I'm surprised that was only a 4.
Easy target.
Job's done.
And see, because I'm immune at that time, he doesn't get his health back. Playstack acquires Hisome. London-based publisher renamed studio the Playstack OY as it gains a majority stake. GameIndustry.biz is talking about Gone Home for no reason. They have an interview with the Fulbright's Stephen Gaynor, I guess. So he's in Black Mirror 2, who episode 19 aired 4 hours on my channel. So we got as many big ticket items as possible.
Job's done.
Draw 5 different secrets from your deck. God, I have 5 secrets. I don't have any. You know, I haven't had anybody on the chat in a while. It's been a couple of weeks. Everybody's back to school, I guess. Maybe by this time next year, streaming Hearthstone stops being useful. Here's something I not mentioned. Yes, I'm 1 more subscriber away from having 300 subscribers. That would have been a huge deal, and I would have really celebrated it and made a video had YouTube not kicked all small-time creators out of the YouTube Partner Program. Now, it doesn't feel like an achievement or anything interesting at all. It's just a reminder of the frustration that there is dealing with YouTube. So, yeah, somebody could be the lucky 300. I'm happy to have 300. It's possible. The points in the past I would have said I wouldn't have made it to 300 subscribers, but since the goalpost got moved, I kind of would prefer to have 300 followers on Twitch. That would be a bigger issue. Or, you know what, in all honesty, I'd like to have 300 patrons. Even if they're all just giving $1 a month, that would be a much better system.
And the world trembles.
The future is now.
Easy target.
PC Gamer has an article. Patriot gets in on the portable PCIe SSD game, undercuts Samsung on price. Well, yeah, once they stopped colluding altogether, the price started going down for flash RAM. And real competition. I think I'm about to die. Let's see. Big ticket items. Let's take this one. It was still too expensive.
An easy target.
Yeah, and I think I just hit the point on my Twitter feed when there won't be any more new news. Which is good because I'm about to lose. Let's see, Old School RuneScape comes to mobile devices in October with full cross-split gameplay. Missed that one. Yeah, I don't think there's anything more to say or any more news to talk about. And we're not getting victories. HSReplays.net's decks have been helpful, but they aren't perfect, certainly. So yeah, Friday I will definitely have to get that done. But we got the Tavern Brawl done on every account, unless I really screwed up and forgot something. So we are in a good position overall. So that's it for this stream. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, I'm asking people to friend me on Steam and gift me a game, or you could just go to my Patreon and donate there. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.